the big one. A lot of stuff going on with the move. So, my family is moving to Japan. Most of us are already over there. The balance is on the other side. Daughter, wife, and black dog Ollie. What remains now is little white dog Rudy and me. He's sitting right behind me in his little crate there, safe and sound, safe from the owls and the coyotes and the bobcats and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. So, the plan is for the two of us to go at the end of December, but a couple of things are happening that may delay that. Doesn't feel proper to go over the details. One of the reasons involves work, and I try not to talk about work. And the other one involves other stuff that should be kept personal. Just because it's not proper, nothing bad. It's just, I have a couple of things I usually don't talk about. Yeah, it's one of them. So the long and short of it is, and I haven't even talked to my wife about it, we'll talk this weekend. I might extend my retirement date a month into January. It would be a prudent thing to do. Okay, yeah, maybe I'm doing it deliberately because I'm afraid. Maybe the two things I don't want to talk about are just excuses. And that would be a fair estimate. I would say the majority of the reason for doing this is probably that. I'm finding excuses with this other two things. But it's hard. It's really hard. It's scary. To imagine life without work. And it's not just work, it's, the meaning, the intrinsic meaning that comes with having the responsibilities of a job. It's, it's the gainful employment, right? I mean, for all these years, I've always been able to solve every problem that comes our way by throwing money at things. Now I'll still have money, but it'll be a fixed income, a very fixed income for the first year and a half until Social Security kicks in. But once I get to age 62, we'll be in real good shape. But until then, it's going to be a little bit tight for a year and a half. And then the idea of going into that with a new house, not a new house, but purchasing a house. And, well, that's about it. That's really the only thing. It's still scary. So I'll think about it a little more, and I'll talk to my wife over the weekend, and we'll talk and we'll see. Should be a simple enough thing to do. I was told I can change my mind up to the last day, the last hour. So that's good. Okay, so what else is going on with the move besides my cold feet looking for excuses not to leave? Well, let me dig a little deeper. What is that? I always hear things out here. Something big crackling through the brush right out there. Am I afraid of leaving America? This is me thinking out loud. Could that be it? I've never felt more American than now. Much more than I felt in my younger years when I was living here. Being 60 and having been back for almost 11 years. Oh, wouldn't that be something if I just rounded it off to 11 years? February 24th, I think would be my 11th year anniversary. I wonder if I should do that. If I should just stay until that and make it 11 years spot on. Is that me just staying behind because this is someplace I know and where I can succeed? I've always been able to get by well in America. And I'm droning on, I've said this before in my past podcasts, but it haunts me. My failures in Japan are like memories of tragedies of a sort. I'll bet that has something to do with it. There's a lot to dig into. I didn't expect that this stone, well, maybe it was forecasted. It's such a big stone. I had no idea that there might be so much in this. So it's not just a matter of me. I led with and I didn't come into this with this thought. I came into it thinking, I've got good reasons to postpone a month. I've got the one thing and the other thing. Not realizing that I might have been hunting for excuses. What'll my wife think when I tell her about this? I don't think she'll see this podcast. Because she'll see right through it. I could throw up the 2 excuses, which I'll tell her, of course, the details. And she won't even call me out. She'll just see right through it and say something very to the point and exacting. Let's try something here. No, don't worry, I'm not calling my wife. Let's try a test. Experiment. Let's talk to ChatGPT. Takes a second for it to load out here in the desert. Oh, hey, ChatGPT, are you there? You got a moment to talk?
Hey, Kurt. Yeah, I'm here. What's up? Got something on your mind?
Yes, I do. So here's the thing. So, I'm leaving to go to Japan at the end of the year. And I think I found a good reason to stay another month or two. But I'm starting to wonder if maybe my reasons are just excuses. I'm having cold feet, that I don't want to give up my career, and I'm a little bit scared to leave America. What do you think?
Man, that's a big step, and it's totally normal to have second thoughts. Changing your life that much can be scary, especially when it means leaving behind a career and a country you know so well. But here's the thing. Is this delay really about tying up loose ends? Or is it more about the fear of the unknown? It's worth diving into that. And hey, it's okay to feel scared. Just remember why you wanted this move in the first place. What are you hoping to find in Japan?
Damn, you hit the point right square on the nose right there. I'm hoping to find some relief, some peace, some quiet,
I hear you. Searching for that sense of calm and stillness can be a powerful motivator. It sounds like Japan, with its unique blend of tradition, nature, and culture, might offer that kind of refuge for you. But remember, the external change is just one part of the equation. Finding peace also means carrying that stillness within you, wherever you are. So, do you feel like moving to Japan is a step towards finding that inner peace? Or is there more to explore on that front?
Interesting way to put it. Now, I have peace now from the efforts that I've made to discover that. So maybe that's the thing. I'm more at peace right now in my life here in America, fully employed, all that stuff, than I have ever been in my life. Even though the idea of retirement, of having no job to do, none of that stress, sounds appealing, I've never been at more peace than I am now. And maybe I'm afraid of giving up this circumstance that maybe I'm tying to that sense of peace. But it's not. The peace came of something else.
That's a pretty profound realization, Kurt. You've cultivated a sense of peace that's independent of your job and current situation. It shows that the true source of your contentment is internal. Leaving behind the familiar can definitely stir up some fear. But maybe this is less about giving up the peace you have and more about taking that peace with you into a new chapter. What if the peace you found is actually the foundation that will support you through this transition?
You're absolutely right. It is transferable. It's something that I can take with me. I don't even have to put it in a suitcase. But still, America has been my salvation. America is the place where I can win and succeed. Japan is the place that I always fail. How do I get over that?
That's a power. Overcoming that feeling starts with acknowledging your past experiences in both places. America's been a place of success for you, so it's natural to see it as your comfort zone. But maybe it's time to reframe how you view Japan. Not as a place of failure, but as a land of challenges that have shaped you. What if those challenges are just stepping stones to new kinds of success? Consider this. Every time you face difficulties in Japan, you've learned something, right? Maybe this time, armed with the peace you've cultivated, you can redefine what success looks like for you in Japan. It's not about avoiding failure, but embracing the growth that comes with it.
You're right. My failures in Japan were the catalyst, the reaction point, the driving force that caused me to climb out of those holes. You're right. So it wasn't that Japan was necessarily the cause of it. It was a circumstance in which I couldn't succeed, but it also helped me to discover in something myself that helped me to succeed in the end. I shouldn't be afraid of it. And I shouldn't be afraid of it because it doesn't have the same power over me that it had before. I won't be constrained by the need to make a living in Japan. So which is the source of my failure in Japan, my inability to succeed financially and career-wise in Japan. So since I don't have to face that anymore, it's a whole different chess game now, right?
Exactly. The landscape has changed entirely. Without the financial pressures and career constraints, you're free to explore Japan on your own terms. It's like you get to make your own. Think of it as a chance to rediscover Japan with a fresh perspective, without the weight of past challenges defining your experience. This time around, you're armed with hard-earned wisdom and a sense of peace that isn't tied to external success. It's a whole new ballgame, my friend.
It is. You're right. Japan is the place where I love living the most. So that makes a lot of sense. Still, I might give myself another month, maybe two, just to tie up a few loose ends that I haven't talked about, I haven't even shared with you. So don't be surprised if I do that, okay?
No worries, man. Take the time you need. It's a huge decision, and you want to feel good about it. And when you're ready to make the move, Japan will be there, waiting for you.
But what about my wife? She's not going to necessarily probably feel the same way. Once I tell her the practical reasons why I should probably stay at least another month, she'll get that. But what do you think?
Well, communication's going to be key here. If you lay out the practical reasons for the delay and explain why it's important for your peace of mind, she might understand where you're coming from. It's all about finding that balance and making sure you're both on the same page. If she's aware of your concerns and the reasons behind them, it might be easier for her to support the decision. Just keep that conversation open and honest.
And to be honest with you, even though I haven't told you, I have two very sound and practical reasons to stay, at least through January.
Well, there you go. If you've got solid reasons, that's even better. Lay those out when you talk to Yumiko. Having concrete points will help her see the logic behind your decision. Plus, it shows you're thinking things through, which is always reassuring in big life decisions like this. You've got this, Kurt.
All right. I'm going to come back and talk to you about another thing in a second. Thanks a lot. Well, okay, I think I just fleshed all that out. So it's my safe space here. This is the place where I can win. Japan is I have the perception of it as the place where I fail. But the whole chess game has changed. Everything has changed. I don't have to worry about the same constraints anymore. But Japan is also the place that I enjoy living the most. So it makes sense now that I'm not vulnerable like I was before, that would be the place to live. So I'm still talking about the moose stone. I told you it's a big one. A lot to talk about.